This episode of the Still Unnamed podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/TSUP.
And now, it's the Still Unnamed podcast with your hosts, Pete and Mark.
Hey kids, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Still Unnamed podcast. I'm Pete Salas, along with
Mark the Badger Rodriguez.
the Honey Badger.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's right. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good.
We were just talking before we cracked the mic, and it took forever to get this computer loaded, but you were saying Harley was singing a song.
Yeah, she was singing. There's a Kesha song. Don't worry about why it's on my phone. It's
Is that what it's called?
yeah, no. The song is called Die Young.
Okay.
And the chorus, I think, pretty much goes like, "Let's make the most of the night, cause we're gonna die young."
And
she was singing along.
your 4-year-old was singing this.
My 4-year-old was singing along, but she said, like, we're gonna tidy up. So every time in the song she said die young, she said tidy up.
Tidy up. Okay,
Yeah.
so did she do that herself, or
She
did
it
you
herself.
alter
No.
the lyrics?
She's all herself. She's messing up all herself.
Wow.
And she gets that from me because I always sing lyrics wrong because I don't know.
A lot of people do that, actually. I've noticed. I don't know if it's misheard lyrics.
Misheard lyrics.
that they've just known all their lives
Yeah.
as being wrong. I don't know. That's the problem. Is like, and it bothers me sometimes. It really bothers me sometimes because like sometimes they're just so wrong
Yeah.
that you just kind of take
Yeah,
it.
well, I mean, there's sometimes when you're singing it and then they say what it's supposed to be and you're like, yeah, that makes 100% sense. Why was I singing that ever?
Right.
Pete, you got any plans for the upcoming holiday?
What holiday?
The Christmas season.
Christmas season. No, there's no real plans. Other than this weekend, we've got Quentin's birthday's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and it's kind of a really packed weekend for me because his birthday and the big McAllen parade.
Oh, yeah,
with the
We're getting ready
balloons
for
and
it,
the
too.
floats and all those things. We're doing it again. I mean, it's the entire media of the Rio Grande Valley is involved in
Yes.
it. It's funny how like McAllen gets properties from all over the valley to like
Participate, yeah.
like work it for them.
They're
Like your station's out of Weslaco,
yes.
right? And then we've got like all different stations from everywhere that are involved for a McAllen event.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's advertising. That's it. We'll get your name out. Like a couple of days ago, my boss said, I need your help with something. So I went over. He had 2 65-inch televisions in the back of a truck. And he's like, we need to get these down. So I helped him get them down.
Right.
He said, what we're going to do is we're going to put these TVs on the float. Here's a little sneak peek for all you parade goers.
right.
We're going to put the TVs on the float, and then we're going to have a camera facing the crowd so the crowd can see themselves doing 5 number ones.
Got it.
So we're branding
I like
and we're
it.
advertising. And
So you guys have your own float, Channel 5?
yes.
Okay. What did you guys do last year?
Last year, I think we had Kermit.
You guys had Kermit?
I believe so.
Okay, that's
Or
cool.
we had a balloon. I don't remember which one, but I remember. I want to say it was Kermit.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Okay. Yeah, it was a blur. It was a blur because
Are we having that big of an event again? Like with big balloons?
yes, they're going to try and make it even bigger.
Whoa.
Right, and like my company is going to provide all the vehicles that are going to pull
Nice.
the floats. So that's what we did last year. It was kind of like it was a really hectic pain in the ass to get it all squared away, but hopefully we're going to pull it all together and it'll work out. But what that means is like it's an all day thing on Saturday, like 7 a.m. starting to like gather up cars and line them up and all that
So when
stuff.
do you want to do Quentin's thing?
What's Quentin's thing?
His birthday?
Oh, on his birthday on Friday.
Oh, okay.
I'll have him that night, so
Good.
That'll be a nice little evening.
What does he want?
I have no idea.
How old is he going to be?
He's going to be 8.
8.
He has mentioned 2 things that he wants, and one is one of those quadcopters.
Like a drone?
Almost like a drone, but like without a camera on it, like the toy versions.
Okay. That's not going to happen.
Well, they're only like $50.
All right.
Like in all reality, they're not break the bankable.
Yeah.
But he says he wanted one of those because he found one.
That sounds stolish.
Well, it technically is stolish. This is the story I got directly from him. Okay, that him and his mom were out like jogging or walking or taking a walk or
Like
whatever.
you do with a 7-year-old.
Right. And they noticed a drone like kind of like off in the distance, and then it just kind of descends and goes down into like some bushes.
Yeah.
But there was no one around wherever they were walking with the controllers, which leads me to believe that whoever was using it, like if you go a certain amount of distance, like it'll just
it gets out of range.
It'll lose signal, right? And then it'll just start like, it won't just crash. It'll just like lower itself.
Yes.
So
it doesn't just turn off and like, oh, I'm dead.
I think somewhere like over the canal or whatever was someone using it, and they just lost control of their drone.
Yeah.
So of course Quentin runs up to this, this thing and picks it up, and he hightails it back to his house. And
wow.
He kept it. So he's got a drone that doesn't have a controller for it. And like, I think ever since he found this thing, like it's kind of like finding a UFO, I suppose, in a way, right?
No.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you see this thing flying in the air. You don't know what it is.
You do know what it is.
Well, I mean, from
like,
okay, look at it through an 8-year-old's perspective.
Okay, then yes, I suppose so.
Okay, you're just there. You're bored out of your mind. You don't want to be there. You're taking a walk. You're away from your video games and your toys.
Yeah.
You're just like looking for anything to like fill the time. You're looking at grass and shit as you're walking, and then all of a sudden you see this buzzing light up thing in the air, and you're like, "What the hell is that?
What is it?"
And then it just like lowers,
slowly descends.
So you walk up to it. It's kind of like a Steven Spielberg film. You walk up to it, and it's
if it attacks you, it's a Stephen King film.
That's true. It's like blinking, and it's like buzzing, and you just go and you pick it up, and it's like, what is this thing that just came out of the sky?
And then you got powers.
And then you get powers. Yes, I mean, in a true Steven Spielberg movie, you would, but
probably telekinetic.
Anyway, point being is, after he found / stole this thing, he wants one for himself.
All right.
Is what he's mentioned. So I might do that if it's. I mean, I might get him that for Christmas, I suppose.
Yeah, probably Christmas
is a bigger one. And the other thing that he has mentioned that he wanted is Madden 2016.
What?
Yeah, it's so strange. Like my kid's into like football games now. I don't understand. I don't know where this came from. Like I thought I had it covered. Like, okay, the extent of his sports, quote unquote, sports knowledge will be wrestling.
Yeah,
and that's cool. But now he's getting into football.
How? Where did this come from?
I blame my father.
The schools.
Yeah, I guess it's a failure of the school system. No, we downloaded he went demo crazy on
you do
on the PlayStation
Store. Yeah, I mean,
Store.
I've done that. I don't want to buy a game. I just want to play something real
quick. Right. So one of the ones that he downloaded was Madden 16, and it comes with like two. You can only pick two teams: the Bears and the Packers. Okay. So he's been playing this like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Bears and Packers. Bears and Packers. And
you know what? Because he's not here, I'm going to talk shit about him real quick.
Please.
I saw him playing that game.
Yeah.
The other day. And he was, I believe, the Packers. Mm-hmm. And then he kicked as the Packers. He just scored a touchdown. He kicked as the Packers. He switched teams. He became a Bear.
Right.
And then he immediately gave himself a touchback. He stayed in the end zone, got himself tackled.
Right.
And then he was like, well, I guess I'm going to go be Packers again.
And then he switches back. Okay. So obviously he wants the Packers to win every time. That's why he does so good at it, I guess.
I was like, what are you doing, you cheater?
Do you remember?
He's like, what?
No, I've seen him do that too. But do you remember like cheating at games like that?
I've never really cheated because like my mom taught my brother and me poker when we were really young. Mm-hmm. And whenever we would play, my brother cheated like once or twice. And my mom would turn to him and say, "Hey, don't cheat. If this was the Old West, you'd get shot for that." Like you'd tell a 5-year-old.
Right. No, I know.
And so we just kind of never cheated. And also, we're very honorable, my brother and I.
Yes, coming from the man who's fantastic at lying.
Yeah, but lying is completely different.
No,
That's
it
fun.
falls under the same umbrella.
But lying and cheating to
Morality
me is
umbrella.
not the same.
A morbrella.
Umbrella. Under my... Okay.
Jesus Christ.
We're playing top 40 today.
First Keisha and now Rihanna.
Kesha.
Whatever.
Ked $sign.
Ked $ ha. Yes.
But yeah, my brother and I don't cheat.
Okay.
Because if you win, you didn't really win.
Okay. I used to play like an NBA game, like when I was like really young, like a Super Nintendo.
Was it Jam?
No, Jam was awesome. Like
Yeah, that was
NBA
the
Jam
shit.
was a fucking awesome game. Maybe it was Jam. Were there free throws in Jam? Like if you fouled somebody?
No, I don't think so. I think Jam was just fucking get on fire and slam dunk back and forth.
So this must have been like a real like NBA game or whatever. I forgot what they used to call them. NBA Live? Anyway, I used to believe that if I would pause, like if someone was doing a free throw after left his hands, I could pause it. And if I paused it, it would make him miss the free throw.
You fucking cheater.
And
Was this against the computer or against your friends?
both.
You was just a fucking cheater.
I know. My friends hated me.
I would hate you.
My friend, should I say. I had one that you would ever play video games with me. Mike Acevedo, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Hashtag fuck Mike Acevedo.
Right. That's our
He's
new
listening
hashtag.
right now.
Good.
He's a sweet guy, probably. Nah, he is.
I like that. Hashtag fuck Mike Acevedo.
That's going to be trending for no reason.
Right.
There's just
Maybe.
going to be people Instagramming their food and then the last one for no reason because you want a random.
Right.
Hashtag fuck Mike Acevedo.
Right. So whenever someone would shoot a free throw, I would pause it and then I would unpause it and I would like pause like that. And it would like stutter it. And then once in a while it would make him miss it. And I don't know if that was just a glitch or if
I think it was just all in your head, but you're like, it works every time.
Exactly. So yeah, that was my way that I did. So I cheated on video games too,
Yeah. Two? Oh, okay.
as well.
As Quentin.
Right.
I thought you were talking about me again.
No.
I was like,
It's
whoa,
not-
whoa, whoa.
it's
I
not
just
always
said
about you.
I don't cheat. I did. My little brother, baby brother, he's 26 years old. I don't know why.
You still call him that?
Yeah, I
Like
call him
whenever
baby
you call him on the phone, you're like, "Hey, baby brother."
Yeah.
Hey, baby brother.
Hey, brother. Yeah, he's like, I watch Let's Plays on YouTube all the time because you never let me play video games. And I enjoy
Just watching other
people play video games.
I gotcha.
And I was like, well, I'm sorry, but I never died. And it's not your turn until I die.
Right. No, that is kind of fun sometimes.
That's what's the good thing about being the older one.
Right. And then a lot of games nowadays are one player,
Yeah.
but they weren't necessarily. Were there a lot of one player games back then? I kind of remember them all being 2-player games, right?
There's-
just about.
The popular ones were 2-player games. Because you got your versus arcade fighting games.
Right,
A
those.
la Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
all that stuff.
And then you got your 2-player cooperatives, Contra, Battletoads.
Battletoads was awesome.
Battletoads was so difficult.
Yeah, it was.
Streets of Rage.
Oh, that was a good one.
Those are your beat 'em ups, which are cooperatives such as Streets of Rage and Turtles in Time. Very popular.
Yes.
So I want to say, yeah, there were a lot more popular. I mean, you did have your couple of first, like, 1-player games where they're like, hey, we're 2-player also, where it's actually just taking turns.
Right.
Like Super Mario Brothers.
Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
Stuff like that.
I remember that game. That game got really hard in the middle.
It did. I never finished it.
I got stuck in hell. Like there was a hell part.
I don't. You know what? To be fair, like I don't remember playing it that much because I got so frustrated with it. I just remember the graphics were awesome for the time. Mm-hmm. It looked like a legit cartoon.
Yeah, it looked gorgeous.
It was good. But anyway.
Yeah. So Yeah, I want to say there were more. There were more cooperative games back in the day because right now they're all first-person shooters. And I shouldn't say they're all first, but there's a lot of first-person shooters, and all the co-ops are like, "Hey, let's go online and just shoot other people from across the country," and shot them in the face.
Right. You were talking about watching someone play a video game. It just reminded me. I just told the story. Like I was zoning out. Like I guess it was late at night or something. So I was zoning out, playing a video game with Quentin. I was playing wrestling.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like, I was just watching the match happen. And I was like, man, Undertaker sucks. Like, he's getting his ass kicked. And then I realized, oh shit, I'm the Undertaker. Like, I'm not moving my joysticks or anything. And I just zoned out and
you were just enjoying the match.
I was enjoying the match. It was like real one-sided.
Wow, Quentin is dominating this computer.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, oh shit.
Something similar happened to me like 2 weeks ago. We decided to do in the newscast a new shot. Mm-hmm. It was a jib shot. Where it's during
jib, for those of you who don't know, is like a crane
shot, like an overhead shot that kind of like pans and moves, and it looks.
They're not all down with the lingo, bro.
I'm sorry. Yeah, they are.
Anyway,
it was gonna be Tim tossed to Alan. It was a weather. Tim Smith to Alan Shoemaker. They were both talking about weather, and they were on the graphics. They go to one shot of Tim, and then they jib, and the shot shows both Alan and Tim, and then it cuts to Alan, and then Alan starts doing the weather. Mm-hmm. And I was just watching it, and I was like, wow, this is a really good shot.
Right.
And then Tim is talking, and he tosses it to Alan, and Alan starts talking, and his mic doesn't open because I didn't open his mic because I was watching the news.
So focused on...
I was just like, wow, this is a really good shot. And the producer turns to me, and he's like, open his mic! And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I explained to him that I was just watching it. And he couldn't get mad at me.
Right.
But he was upset with me.
I mean, we zone out sometimes.
Yeah.
Things just happen. There's this, like, there's a theory where, like, for people who drive the same route every single day, that it happens more often than you know, that you zone out because it's just muscle memory of what you're doing, of where you're going. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that there's been times where I arrive at a place and I cannot recall the last 5 minutes of my drive.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
No, I completely, I
but isn't that dangerous? Like,
that's so scary.
It's like to think that you're not in control of the vehicle. I mean, you are.
Yeah.
But it's like in the back of your mind. I guess the front of your mind, you're thinking about different things. Uh-huh. But who's focusing on the road?
I don't know.
It's really weird how the brain works sometimes.
At any time. Like, I remember my commute, like the first couple of times I would take my commute, it took forever for me to get to my destination. Mm-hmm. It's like a 25-minute drive. Took me, it felt like 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then now I feel like I get there in 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
But it's the same time.
It's the same amount of time. It feels different.
Yeah.
So it's really strange.
It's scary.
It is. And it happens way too often than I want to admit.
Pay attention to the road.
I'm trying.
I'm talking to the listener.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm looking at you, but it's because they're listening to us while they're driving. Looking at you, Alyssa. Not really.
Going back to the misheard lyrics thing, while you were saying something, she changed the words to tidy.
Yeah.
Tidy up.
We're gonna die young.
Yeah,
we're gonna tidy up.
Right. I like that.
I liked it too because after the song was done, she said, I want to hear the tidy up song. And I was like, what? She's like, we just heard it. I want to hear the tidy up song. So then I pressed back and then it started up and I started listening to her. And I was like, oh, she's saying tidy up. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I guess, did she hear it wrong, or are you? No one changed the lyrics to kind of like make it. No one
changed it
because I remember like that was one of the things that I learned back when Quentin was really little, was like kids respond well to like sing song.
Yeah.
Like, and that reminded me when you were saying about the tidy up thing. I used to take him to this little gymboree or like little gym type of thing. Mm-hmm. And they had a song like at the end after they've played with the blocks and the music, instruments and all that stuff, all the whatever shit that they played with that day. Like the instructors would sing this song and they would say, clean up, everybody everywhere. Clean up, everybody do your share. Right. And like the kids would like like fall in line like they were fucking
They're
soldiers.
zombies, and they're like,
Yeah, then they would just it's the cleanup song. So it's like,
we
let's
gotta
clean up.
clean up.
It's time to clean up and put stuff away. So I was thinking maybe you did the same thing with the
No, with the Kesha song.
with the Kesha song.
No, I thought about it for a split second. I was like, do they play this at her daycare? I was like, no, that's impossible. Why would they do that? Oh, another thing that I thought was impossible
That
yesterday.
reminds me of something else. Okay, go on.
me first. Real quick.
Go.
Yesterday I was driving, and it was raining yesterday, and I pulled into the Whataburger parking lot,
Uh-huh.
and there was a guy backing up, and he was wearing sunglasses. I'm like, why is this guy wearing sunglasses? It's dark and it's raining. And then I was like, well, maybe he was wearing his sunglasses before he forgot he was wearing it.
Maybe it was Corey Hart.
Maybe it was Corey Hart,
Uh-huh.
whoever that is.
I wear my sunglasses
when it's cloudy. And then I was like, well, maybe he just left it on. And I was like, well, that doesn't make sense if he left it on, because he just got out of the restaurant. So that means he was wearing his sunglasses inside the restaurant.
Right.
And then I said, for a hot second, I was like, well, maybe he's blind. And then I was like, that's impossible. He's driving.
Stupid.
That was my quick little story about.
But where'd you get to there from what I was talking about?
I don't know. What were you talking about?
I don't even remember anymore.
We're terrible at this.
Damn it.
You were talking about making a mistake really quick. No. I was talking about it because for a hot second, I thought that they might have played that song
Oh, I see.
at her daycare. And then in this instance, for a hot second, I thought a man was blind until I realized that's not good. That's
He
not
was
possible.
operating a motor vehicle.
Correct.
Well, when you said, do they play this at her daycare? The first thing I thought of was, have you ever heard of Kids Bop?
Yeah.
Those CDs?
Yeah, those are terrible.
Yeah, they are terrible because, like, for those of you who don't know, Kids Bop are this company or whatever that gets kids to sing popular, like,
Top 40 hits.
Top 40 hits. The only problem is a lot of top 40 hits nowadays are about like sex and like
Yeah, they're all like,
getting crazy,
Yeah.
crunk it up, and
like we're going to die young.
exactly. And it's just so strange to hear those songs like in the commercial being sung by children. Mm-hmm. You know,
Like Miley Cyrus songs.
right or right, exactly. Whoever. It's a strange thing to do.
And it's like a Children's of the Corn chorus going on. And
Right.
oh, I just dropped off my kids at my mom's house because they wanted to see her, and my baby brother left his children there also.
Uh-oh.
My mom wanted it, so he has two girls also. I believe they're 8 and 6, and Harley is 4.
Right.
And they immediately joined hands, started going around in a circle and singing "Ring Around the Rosie," and it sounded so creepy. Because you got those 3 little voices just ring around the roses, pocket full of posies.
Yeah.
And I just said, good luck, Mom, and I left. I was like, that's super creepy.
That is really creepy. But, I mean, we've talked about how creepy your daughter is. And
Yeah.
now I saw it, like, firsthand yesterday.
What did she do?
Well, like, I was walking through my parents' living room, and she comes up, and she's like, Pete. And I'm like, what's up? And she goes, I want you to meet someone. And I'm like, oh, okay. Who? And she's like, my big sister. And I'm like, okay, who's your big sister? And so she takes me by the hand and walks me into her room. And she's like, she's right here. And I'm like, where? She's, on my bed. And I said, is it like an imaginary friend? She goes, no. She's not my imaginary friend. She's my big sister named California. And I'm like, oh,
That's so scary. Yeah,
And I
she's
just
very
kinda,
demanding.
Like slowly backed out of the room and I left. It was really crazy.
Yeah, she's a creepy little girl.
She sure is.
She does that all the time.
She's always. But yeah. So how did she get so creepy?
The schools.
I blame the schools also.
No, probably Harley. Not Harley. Alyssa was creepy when she was little.
Oh, definitely.
I imagine it just transferred over.
Yeah,
I was a
yes.
creepy kid too. I remember when I was like 8 or around that age, I would just draw cemeteries and just corpses and stuff.
Really?
Like you do.
I don't think I ever did that.
I would just like straight, and I was very proud of myself because I would draw like a cemetery with a cross and I would do depth perception. And I was like, oh, look, Mom. And she was like, oh, that's really good. She never said anything. I was like, if my child ever showed like a haunted house with a cemetery and a dead tree in front of it, I'd be like, oh, okay. How are you doing? But she was just like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, I would see horror movies all the time.
Man, that reminds me. I just watched this documentary from like 1992.
Okay.
It's called Child of Rage. Mm-hmm. And it was like an HBO. They used to do this thing called America Undercover.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like a documentary series.
Okay.
And it was about this little girl named Beth who had like severe like detachment.
I think I saw that one too.
And she's just answering the doctor's questions, and it's a one shot on her face, and she is not acting. She is legit psychotic.
Like she's a psychopath, right? Like
Right.
she feels nothing.
No empathy, no fear, no nothing. And I mean,
She has like adoptive parents and a little brother, right?
right, because I mean, obviously it stemmed from like early on abuse before
Yes.
she was taken away from her real parents.
Correct.
But like the new adoptive parents are like struggling to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's just kind of like she would like beat her little brother, like his head on the floor or whatever,
She'd
and
just
then
smash it.
And the doctor would say, so I mean, and very calm, like, so what did you want to do, Beth? I wanted to kill him. And it's like, why'd you do that? And I don't know, you know, just
that's what I wanted to do.
Exactly. And it was very, very sobering. Like, I should not have watched that, but if anybody wants I'm not trying to say like, hey, this is fun, you guys should go watch it. But like, if you're ever bored for a minute and just want to look into like the
mind of a psychotic child.
Right. It's called Child of Rage. And
Yeah.
it's an America Undercover series.
Oh, it gave me chills.
It was
when
on
I saw
YouTube.
it. I saw it on YouTube too.
Right. But no, I'm not saying your daughter's like that.
No, of course not.
She's a very sweet little girl.
What happened to that little girl though? That was like painful to hear about.
Right.
She was. She by all accounts could have been a perfectly fine, normal little girl.
Right. But I wanna tag to the end of that this was 25 years ago that they shot this. Apparently she is now a registered nurse, and she has she's gotten all the counseling she needs, and now she's helping children
Oh, that's beautiful.
that were like her
I
or
remember
abused or whatever.
At the end of
So there's a happy end to it.
Well, at the end of the little documentary, they go back to her, and she was like, they were doing an exit interview, and it was like 2 years later. She was in like a school for children that are like that, and they just worked on her, and they were talking to her about it, and she was talking about how she used to be, and she broke down crying in tears, and they said, see, the fact that she feels so horrible is just. It just shows that she feels now.
Right.
She regrets what she did. She regrets how she used to be. Mm-hmm. So she's changed.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's an extreme case, but we're not talking about psychotic. We're just talking about creepy.
Yeah,
And
creepy.
Your daughter is definitely creepy.
She's creepy as all hell.
Yeah. I think it's her little voice too.
She's got the sweetest little voice.
That adds to it. So when she's saying things like, no, she's right here. No, she's not imaginary. She's my big sister. And it's like...
She's got a kind of advanced vocabulary too.
Right.
I mean, she's a 4-year-old, so I mean, she's not like, oh, a prodigy. She could say sentences.
Right.
But like she does this weird thing. Like, it's adorable, I think. But like, if she's talking about like my mom, or she's talking to Alyssa about me, she'll say, Mommy, your husband, Daddy. Mm-hmm. Mommy, let's talk about your husband, Daddy. Or
Right. Like she gives the person the title of what they are.
Yeah.
Right. She's done that to me too. Like, your sister, my mother. Yeah. It's like, okay.
she's like, just so we're aware,
Right.
your mom, Gigi,
Right.
she calls her grandma, Gigi. I want to go to your mom's house, Gigi's house.
Right.
I think that's super cute.
It is. So she's equally adorable as she is creepy.
Yeah.
She's a good balance.
It's balances out. Dexter's just a
It's
hot
all
mess.
about balance.
Let's not talk about that.
He's getting better.
He's gotten a lot better.
He's gotten a lot better.
He might be a psychopath. Through no fault of our own.
Through no fault of your own?
No, we didn't do anything. He just attacks a puppy with a hammer for no reason.
But it's an inflatable hammer.
It's an inflatable hammer. Let's just get that out of the way. He's not. We don't give Dexter a real hammer.
Right. No, it's one of those inflatable bop it hammers, and he goes after the puppy.
Yeah. But I mean, all boys are destructive.
Yeah, it's true. I remember the kid next door, like when my sister used to watch him, like
that's weird.
Babysit him.
Oh, okay. I shouldn't have cut you off then.
He was like 2 or 3, I guess, and my sister called my mom crying one day, and my mom was like, "What's the matter?" He goes, I don't remember I honestly don't remember his name, so I'm going to call him Brandon. Whatever.
Sure, why not?
I can't believe what Brandon's doing, and what's he doing? He's smashing the tiles on the floor, on the kitchen floor with a hammer, and she was like, "Well, why'd you do that?" Like, she was asking, why are you doing that? Because I wanted to watch the lines grow, was his answer. So every hit would make a crack, and the cracks would just keep going, and that was his reasoning. He wanted to watch the lines grow, so he was cracking the tiles. So boys are really destructive.
Yeah. Alyssa shouldn't have given a hammer.
That was not questioned, and I don't know why. Why the fact that a 2-year-old was...
Well, also, if you see someone doing that, you're just going to take it away. I mean, she's a much better parent now than she ever was a babysitter. Also, she's a nanny sometimes. She's an amazing nanny.
Right.
Shout out to Alyssa. You're doing great.
You're doing wonderful things. We're all doing wonderful things, and we're heading into the holiday season. So, what better way?
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm segueing
okay.
into audiobooks.
Oh! Smooth as milk.
All right, fuck you. I don't want to do it anymore.
Let's do it.
TSU podcast or whatever the fuck, and
no,
TSUP, whatever.
It's audibletrial.com/TSUP.
Right.
Go there for a free audiobook.
I got an email today from our Audible people.
Okay.
And they were like, "We're happy with your numbers, but if you need assistance, here's something else." Like, it was like an automated thing.
Yeah.
So they wanted me to say that a good way to sell it now is to say they now have all the Harry Potters available.
Ooh.
And I guess they didn't have them before.
I guess not.
I don't know if that's like a hot commodity or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it is. But if you guys are interested, any Potter fans out there,
looking at you, Alyssa.
if you're interested, Audible.com now has all the Harry Potter series available to you. And if you go there to audibletrial.com/TSUP, you can download one for free.
Get your favorite one, the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah, or Prisoner of Aslan.
Aslan.
Hat.
The Sorting Ass Hat.
I like those movies, but like, I don't know.
Goblet of Fire.
The Half-Breed Prince? Is that what it's what's it called?
So dumb.
The pure
blood prince.
Sorcerer's Bone. All those titles can be turned into porn titles. That's all I'm saying.
Real quick. Oh, shit, man.
But yeah, anyway.
What are we talking about? Yeah, you are perfectly apathetic with those stories.
So, if you're thinking about something for the holidays, why don't you give the gift of audiobooks by going to audibletrial.com/TSUP, and Harry Potter is now available. So that's all I want to say.
Get them
while they're hot.
Hot dog.
Hot. Oh, hit the music. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for coming back, joining us every week. We truly appreciate it. The holidays are coming up, so I don't know how how we're gonna handle it. We might do a Christmas episode. We
Maybe.
might try and do it. We did it last year. It was pretty fun. I can't believe it's been a year already.
I know.
Doesn't it feel weird that it's been a year?
I don't know how much more I can bring. That last one, I brought it all. I love Christmas so much.
But anyway, on behalf of myself, I'm Pete Salas, along with
Mark the Badger Rodriguez.
the Honey Badgers in the house.
Badger noises. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Thank you all for listening, and have yourselves a very, very happy Taco Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Squeak!